Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to Prospect Central 101. My name is Chris, and today I'm going to be showing you guys a little bit of Nico Collins. So this should be dropping on Friday, before week 1 of the college football season, not including the Florida game. So we're going to get to see a little bit of Nico Collins, I believe tomorrow, on the first main Saturday of the college football regular season. And he is a third-year junior from Michigan, plays wide receiver, listed unofficially at 6'3", 218, so pretty good size. And as a Michigan fan, I'm pretty familiar with a lot of the work he does. I think you guys will be pretty surprised if you're not familiar with him from just watching college. I'm kind of interested to see how he looks in terms of prospects, though, and how he compares to some of the other guys around the nation. So that would be pretty interesting to see. Props to Mark Jarvis and co. for this database with all the tape collection and all that stuff. All the grades are his, not mine. I'll be showing you guys my grades after. So here we go. We have 3 games for you guys to watch today. The first one we're going to be showing off is Southern Methodist, which was very early on in the regular season last year. Non-conference play. And when this will pause. There we go. This was, I don't remember if it was exactly week 1. It might have been, but point being, he was still getting into the system, still working out some things with Shea. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a couple of, I want to call them errors or mistakes on his part, but we'll see. There's 5 minutes of tape, we'll see what happens. I do like already, though, just based on that first play, he's already looking like a better blocker than a lot of receivers in this class. I really like how he just finds this guy early and then angles him out of the play. Really nice. It's a good start. Oh, and by the way, he is number 4. I'm pretty sure he lined up almost exclusively outside last year. So there's a really good chance he'll be on either side of the line. Though I will say, while I'm talking about this, notice on the last 2 plays he's lined up on the left side of the formation, and on this play coming up he'll be on the right side. So he does have versatility to play both hashes. And then every once in a while, especially on running plays, you will see him lined up closer to the line as well, partially because he can block. Shea really liked Nico last year, especially from deep. Oh, okay. Giving him a lot of space at the line. I think that kind of says a little bit about his explosiveness and get off the line. Not really a guy who's going to be able to, at least initially, blow past you. His acceleration first step isn't as great as some of the other guys in this class, like you will see. On the other hand, he does have some ability to win down the field. Once he hits that speed, his closing bursts and the back end of a play, once he hits the stem, he's going to be able to blow by some people. So he does have that closing, well, I'm going to call it closing speed, but that speed down the field once he gets that past that initial first step burst. Pretty physical there. Nice evasion by Shea. Dang. Runs across the middle as well. You do see quite a bit of routes from him, which was kind of nice. while he is more of a downfield receiver than underneath, you will get to see him run across the middle of the field, outs, ins, hashes, slants, screens every once in a while, like right there. Bottom of the screen here. Okay. Not really using his hands a ton at the release point, but that's also probably in part because the corner is backing off of him. So there is some respect. Of course, like a Southern Methodist, so we'll see how this looks against Ohio State, who has a little bit more athleticism from their corners. Probably has a bit more thought of athletes at those spots. We'll see how they play them compared to Southern Methodist, but my guess is they're probably going to be a little bit more willing to play him at the actual line and give him a little bit less space to slow him down. And you kind of see it on this play too, like even the tight end here is already a couple yards deep. He's still pretty much at the line of scrimmage. Let's catch Donovan. You only get to see a little bit of bursts. Ooh, easy catch from Donovan. So yeah, he does have a little bit of burst to him. Oh, that was a nice play. Hopefully Gaddis runs more of those. Also worth noting that Michigan's new offensive coordinator is the same coach who ended up working with guys like Judy last year. Oh, okay. Ruggs, another one. He's done a pretty good job of developing receivers, especially in the past. I do really like how he's able to get in proper blocking position. He does a much better job with that than some of the other receivers in this class, which I think will end up helping him out in terms of finding a spot on a team early on. Oh, nice second effort from True. So there you go. Not really a whole lot to go off the first game, especially against not the best competition he saw all season. So we'll move on to the Ohio State game. Should see a little bit more opportunities in this one as well. And yeah, a lot longer also. So hopefully we'll get to see a lot more of what he can actually do and judge him a little bit more fairly than just off of the Southern Methodist game. Oh, man. Blocking play. And yeah, same like you're gonna see it on this play right here, right? He's initially gonna get off, and he is actually a lot further downfield than I expect for this play, but still, compared to some of the guys like Judy and Chenault and the other top guys in this class, he doesn't exactly, and you see it from this angle a little bit better, I think. He doesn't exactly get blazing off the line too often. Now he can, and he will, but mostly on vertical stem routes. Another blocking play. Nice drive there. Probably like to see him create a little bit more separation. And, oh, nice. Oh, Andy keeps driving through the play. Love the effort, love the motor and the blocking. That's definitely going to be a 9 for me, I think. Same thing. Just excellent job of staying engaged without committing the holding penalty. Does a really nice job of opening up the lane for his guy to extend the play after the catch. Nice inside release move. Blocking play. Same thing, another blocking play. I'm trying to figure out if he's mainly just delaying the blocking route. Like, see, once he gets like to the 5-yard line here, once he gets to the 45, he starts to kind of hit his second gear. So I'm almost wondering if he's coming off a bit slow by design to kind of almost low corner to sleep. Because like once he gets to like top speed right here, he's blazing down the field. So I'm almost wondering if it's kind of by design to start slow and then hit second gear. Or if he just looks slow initially because he's going so fast into second gear. Either way, I think he's around a 4.5. He's not exactly slow. I'm mainly just curious about that first step burst. And like same thing there, right? Like he starts and hesitates a little bit. And then he kind of speeds up a little bit. So, and yeah, same thing on this play. You'll notice right here he gets a little bit slow until the 5 yards. And then once he hits the about 5 yards down the field, he turns it in. So I think his 10-yard split will be a little bit slower, probably 3-4 RAS range, but same thing here, right? Once he gets about 5 yards off the line, bam, he turns it into second gear. I think once he hits that 20 to 40 yard split, like that second half of his 40, he'll really hit a really nice second gear, and he'll kind of get that result up a little bit. Same thing there. That was nice winning the line. I almost am curious how that's going to be reflected in his 3-cone. So not a ton of separation, right? And I think part of that is because he doesn't really get that initial first burst. He's going to beat you more when he's able to get more downfield. However, excellent ball tracking. You're going to see that pretty consistently the more games you watch. Pretty nice job of getting the hands flashing as well. Excellent hands catching. Does a nice job of coming down with contested catches. And he knows how to use his size. He knows his skill set really well, which I think is almost more valuable than having a skill set and not being able to use it. Even if you have a limited skill set and you're able to apply it and demonstrate it well consistently, that almost becomes just, if not more valuable, to show what you can do instead of not show what you have. Great hands catch. Contested catches. He almost kind of gives me like a Hakeem Butler vibe. I thought he caught that, but whatever. He almost gives me kind of a Hakeem Butler vibe for those of you guys who remember him last year. Just every once in a while, he will make a huge play. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside is another guy, kind of in that same esque of mold. By the way, every time I do a Michigan-Ohio State tape, I always point out that everyone thinks that this game was a total blowout. At this point in the game, this is around the time that Devin Bush left. Michigan was only down by 8 halfway through the third. It wasn't really until Devin Bush came out because of injury that Ohio State really started to pour it on. And Michigan has the ball at first and 10 at the 20. I just love re-emphasizing that Devin is such a huge part of the defense. Anyway, off topic for a minute there. Nice outcut. He doesn't exactly have like a slot skill set either. Like he can run a route, but for the most part, yeah, that was when things really started to turn. But yeah, so anyway, going back to Nico, he doesn't really have like that slot skill set. If you draft him, you're not going to use him like an AJ Brown. You're going to be putting him pretty exclusively at the X or Z, and hoping he can kind of win those contested catches, those 50-50s. Another good example, especially for those of you guys who are Lions fans who have found the channel, is a Kenny Galladay type. Doesn't really create a ton of separation, but every once in a while he'll make that big play. He'll come down with those 50-50s, those contested catches, things like that. You can target him in tight coverage. He'll draw a flag every once in a while. Though honestly, that was more of a good play by Kendall. Susie. Honestly, that probably could have been a no call. But yeah, you don't really get to see him a lot in the slot, and I think that's probably a good thing based on his skill set and the tools that he has and utilizes. Maybe under Josh Gaddis this year he develops a little bit more of that. But he's not really going to be your exciting, jukey, quick cut Andy Isabella route runner. He's going to be more your 6'3 Julio. No, I don't want to call him Julio Jones because he's obviously not at that level. But in that kind of mold, same thing there, right? Saw this exact same kind of play earlier in the game. One-on-one, tight coverage, very limited space. Doesn't really use the hands a lot. But he is able to get those hands up, contested catch, come down with it in the end zone. Excellent hands, great hands technique. Brings it in, solid. And those are the types of plays that he's going to be able to make for you consistently, right? Saw it 2 or 3 times already just in this game. And the more you watch, the more and more you'll see it also over the course of last year and this year. And that's part of why he's such a good deep threat, too, is he's not really going to be a guy who you see running tons of drags or slants. Every once in a while, a screen to get him in space. But he's not really your initial first step guy. He's going to, the more you send him down the field, the bigger the chance he's going to have of beating somebody. Because he's so much better. Oh, every once in a while he uses hands. But he's so much better at using his legs to separate down the field than he is underneath. Because it gives him so much more space to work with and so much more room to use his speed, which is his bigger attribute than his bursting acceleration. I am really looking forward to seeing how he develops this year under Josh, though. I do really think that if he can develop some more of that hand usage and get quicker, simply, that would make a huge difference. But yeah, if he can develop some of that hand usage off the initial line, develop not necessarily release moves, but ways to separate more with the hands beyond 5 yards of the line, that'll really help him in terms of draft status. Out of all three Michigan receivers, I think he has the best chance of staying more than longer than 2019. Oh, that was a nice catch though too. I do think that he's probably the guy who isn't the most NFL caliber. I think probably Tariq is probably going to be the guy who, if he flashes what we think he can this year, is the guy most likely to go pro. And then DPJ because he has those athletic tools, the recruiting status, the starting 3 years, all that stuff. And then probably Nico third. I think he's probably the least NFL ready caliber of the three. But if he has a bigger year, especially developing under Gaddis this year, he could really show off some skills like this. And again, right, not a ton of space to work here. Even though it is down the field, he will more often than not separate on these down the field routes. Just with Melton in there, kind of wanted to play him a little bit closer, I'm guessing. Still, double coverage comes down with the ball. That's going to be his selling point from the time he enters the draft into the rest of the time. It's his ability to win those tight contested catches. So there you guys go. I think we kind of showed everything else, so I'm not going to watch the Florida tape. If you guys want to see that on your own time, definitely feel free. I'll probably revisit it too if he declares later on. But for now, I think that's going to do it for this particular video. So I will take you guys through my grades on him. I've seen a lot of him, of course, too. So I'm pretty familiar with where I'm at with him. Hands in contested catching, I'm going to go with a 10. I think that's clearly his best trait, and we've seen it consistently too. That's going to be his one big selling point is those contested catch jump ball situations, and he's definitely elite and ready to go in that area. Athleticism, though, I'm going to give a day 2 grade. Short threat, same thing. I'm also going to give a day 2 grade. I don't think he's really there yet. Middle threat, also, I still think he needs a little bit of work. More of those, he doesn't really run a lot of intermediate routes though either. Those 10 to 15 yard kind of move that change possession routes. Hopefully we use him a little bit more in that area and develop those skills a little bit more because I think he could be a beast in that area. But he's just not there yet. He hasn't really shown us a ton. Deep threat though is definitely 9. I could probably go 10, but 9 for sure there. Route running, I do like how we're seeing a pretty diverse route tree. I think that that'll only expand this year as Gaddis gets him more developed in that route running. That'll be really huge for him to see growth in that area. But for now, I'm going to probably predict an 8 if he were to declare. Run after catch, same thing. I do think he's probably borderline first round caliber after the catch. He does have that burst, just not really that first step. So I'll give him an 8 there. Release moves, same thing. I'm probably bordering 7 or 8, but I think we can predict an 8 in terms of projection for the rest of this year. Motor blocking, absolutely a 10. That's also along with his hands and contested catching, probably one of his better traits that he's shown. So I really like that area for him. And zone awareness for now, I need to see a lot more. I don't remember him showing off a lot of that, probably because he was playing a lot of man. But for now, I'm going to go with the day 3. I really just, and of course, that can improve. We'll see him probably more zone this year against Gaddis to protect those deeper areas of the field. So we'll see how that ends up matching up this year. But mostly, I just need to see a little bit more from him in terms of those short and underneath areas. That's a what? +2, -1, even, +2. So that's like a borderline day 2 grade-ish. 79, 80 is first round-ish. So yeah, 79 is probably like a second round-ish grade. And you can see how that kind of compares to some of the other receivers I watched so far. That's pretty below my normal preseason average. So, yeah, with that being said, hopefully we can expect to see more improvement from Nico over the course of this year. Still has a lot of things that I really want to see him improve on with Gaddis this year. And if he ends up declaring, we will probably end up revisiting him at least once in that January to April window. But for now, hope you guys enjoyed this one, learned a thing or two. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. But for now, hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. Peace out.